Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Ninja Knight. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. So today I have an article from Bounding into Comics, and Bounding into Comics is providing a new rumor which provides details on Marvel Studios' vision for MCU version of Doctor Doom. So Doctor Doom is a great character, and it's a character that I'm really looking forward to making his entrance into the MCU. However, I'm a bit skeptical due to this rumor of how they're going to do it, and I'll explain why as we move on through the video. So for months, there have been rumblings about what Marvel's cinematic universe will look like moving forward from Avengers Endgame, and more particularly, what will they do with the recently acquired properties under the Marvel banner, namely the X-Men and mutants as well as the Fantastic Four. I'm actually going to post an X-Men video soon. I'm working on it at the moment of who I would cast as the X-Men in the MCU and kind of maybe a story beat to go along with it. So, well, there are certainly quite a few rumours now detailing what Marvel's plan for these heavy hitters will be, and the most recent one involves the Mandalorian's Giancarlo Esposito. So I love Giancarlo Esposito. I thought he was brilliant as Moff Gideon, and I absolutely loved him as Gustavo Fring in Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul, not a big fan of the show, but it is what it is, I think. Esposito will be reprising his role as Moff Gideon for season 2 of The Mandalorian later this year. Hyped for that one. And he's no stranger to villains playing Gus in Breaking Bad and its spin-off series Better Call Saul, as well as DC Comics' bad boy Lex Luthor in the Harley Quinn animated. However, if this latest rumour is to be believed, Esposito could be playing one of the biggest bads of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, that being Fantastic Four foe Doctor Doom. Not only does it detail that they're interested in Esposito, but also provides some details on how Marvel Studios is envisioning Doctor Doom. So Mikey Sutton, who's had a couple of scoops recently, has said he posted a text version of the scoop to his Geekosity Facebook group, where he first references a theory article from the Express indicating that Giancarlo Esposito could make a good Doctor Doom. So it's very theoretical, I think, at the moment, but the name's been thrown about. Sutton writes, as the Fantastic Four is in its infancy stages of development, ideas have circulated on who could possibly play Doom in the MCU. Recently, Express posted a speculative piece offering Giancarlo Esposito would make a fine Doom. Sutton then states, there actually have been discussions not with Esposito directly at Marvel Studios about such a possibility. He elaborates, according to my source, Marvel Studios is envisioning a Doom closer to OG Darth Vader, coming full circle as Vader was often viewed as being inspired by Doom since George Lucas was an avid comic book fan, especially Marvel since, let's not forget, he produced Howard the Duck, the first movie about a Marvel Comics character. Sutton then went on to detail how Marvel Studios is envisioning Doctor Doom for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He explained, Doom in the MCU will be mysterious. They don't want his face to be seen before his accident. He's going to be a serious villain, but in the mould of Thanos and Eric Killmonger, whose worldview occupies that grey twilight zone between good and evil. As dictator of Latveria, Doom will do everything to protect the people under his rule. Marvel Studios is interested in seeing what Esposito can do with his role. Sutton concluded, or this role, I should say. Race swapped Doom? If this rumour is true, it's possible we wouldn't technically have a race swap Doctor Doom since the character will always be behind the mask. We'll get his voice, and know the character's race because of the actor playing him. But like James Earl Jones voicing Darth Vader, we were never really aware of who the person was behind the helmet. It could be a similar scenario to Star Wars. David Prowse played the on-screen version of Vader, and there was a third version of Vader then played in Return of the Jedi, but David Prowse was the man in the suit. We didn't get a glimpse of Vader's real face until Return of the Jedi towards the end, but we did hear James Earl Jones' voice. As for Esposito, there does seem to be some buzz for a role in the MCU, whether it's Doom or another character. A rumour back in May from Fortress of Solitude detailed that Marvel Studios was looking at Esposito to take on the role of famed X-Men leader Professor Charles Xavier, aka Professor X. No, I'm not into that. This rumour is interesting. I think to put it into context, Giancarlo Esposito at the moment is 62. I think if he could voice the character certainly and have someone else behind the mask, maybe like a professional stunt performer like Ian White or something like that, who's done the Predator and those type of characters, or some other sort of big man like that could do the role, or maybe even someone with really solid acting skills, that when the face of Doom is actually revealed, it is a Doom that we all know and we recognise, rather than someone that looks like Esposito. Again, I think Esposito is a terrific actor, but again, I'm not a fan of race swapping or gender bending or gender swapping characters at all in the slightest. Now, I think it's interesting if they did it like a Darth Vader version where he is voicing the character but will never actually be the physical representation of it. I've absolutely no problem with that. I think that's great. And it would be an interesting way to look at the character, I suppose, because they do need to change things up, I feel, now, the MCU, specifically with Thanos now seemingly out of the picture. Do I think he should be Charles Xavier in the X-Men? No. I do not think that the X-Men should be race swapped at all. I don't think anyone should be race swapped or gender swapped in the slightest for me with the X-Men. I think everyone should look like their comic book counterparts, and I would always advocate for that for everyone. I'm the exact same with John Stewart's Green Lantern. I would be the exact same with Amadeus Cho, and I mean the exact same with Blade, for example. I would never ever want to see those characters ever race changed, ever. I wouldn't want to see Jessica Cruz race changed or gender swapped, for example, either. It's just, I don't think it should happen. I think maybe just create an entirely new character or alter ego. Particularly now as well too, we're supposed to think that Doctor Doom is a ruler of Latveria, and that is supposed to be a country that is similar to something in Eastern Europe. So again, if it's set in Eastern Europe, the likelihood of someone that's a ruler there being, I suppose, looking different from what Doctor Doom traditionally would in the comics would be a bit unusual, I think, personally. This is an interesting rumour. I'm going to provide another video soon of my casting, who I would like to see as the X-Men in the MCU, and that video is going to come soon as I have it finished. So what do you think of this rumour? I think this rumour is very interesting. Again, like I said, I think Esposito is a terrific actor. If he was to voice the character, absolutely, that's great. But I think the man underneath the mask does need to look like he did in the comics, and I am a big advocate of people looking like they did in the comics. And again, that goes for everyone. Anyway, that's my video. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing to the channel also. That really helps out the channel. And I will talk to you later.